No. So welcome back to another FIFA 20 video. Today we are taking a look at the unbelievable things, the funny moments, and the fails. This is the show where you guys send in your clips and we put them together and we review all these cool moments that happen in FIFA 20. As always, if you want to get your submissions in, make sure you send them to me on Twitter or Instagram. I can't guarantee that you can be featured or if I even will see your message because there's hundreds of people that submit stuff for these shows, but it's worth a shot, you might get featured. So it looks like FIFA 20 career mode could be broken again. What's new anyway? But there is a new broken element in the game and it's probably not anything that you would imagine. It's actually the broadcast packages that are playing up in the game. More specifically, it is the Premier League broadcast package that's the issue. It's getting stuck on the screen now. This clip was sent in by Sam and you can see that as he's playing the game, there's the Premier League broadcast overlay frozen and stuck on the sides of the TV. You can see that it's taken up almost half the screen and it's covering the keepers, covering the goals as well, making it very annoying, very frustrating to look at. The guy's just trying to have some fun, trying to enjoy the game. He's got RGB lights going around the TV, probably trying to chill out, and then he's got to put up with this graphics getting stuck on the screen. But that's not all. We have a lot of other clips of this as well, so it's happening to a lot of people. This one was from Jack. As you can see, it's basically the same issue for everyone. They're trying to play the game, and it ain't working properly because you got to see this graphic thing over and over again. And apparently it does carry on for a lot of games. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I think it's only a matter of time. EA definitely needs to sort this out. And if you go on Twitter, there's a lot of complaints about this as well. The new Premier League stuff looks good, but I don't want it on my screen when I'm playing. It literally won't go away. So as you can see, he's got it right there. This was on December 7th, and it's the same issue again for another guy here, Reese, who has the same thing. This is ridiculous, he says, and it's even in the training thing before the match starts. That's pretty incredible. So there's this tweet as well from Career Mode Insider. It says the recently updated broadcast package is glitched. Some of the replies are people complaining as well. I had to cancel a game because of that, and I was losing 2-0, so it was a blessing in disguise. Happened to me like 5 times, very annoying. This happened to me the other day, had to restart the game to fix it. Happens a lot, have to shut down the console and restart to clear it. I had that about half an hour ago, and I conceded because I couldn't see what's happening. And then this guy had it a while back too. I've only had this once, luckily, but that's not the point. Fix one thing, break another. Well, that's the motto of FIFA 20 at the moment. And then if we go down the list, there's more people had this problem too. Happened to me yesterday, had to restart the game. Happened to me once, and then I exited the save and loaded up a different one. And this time it was in the Bundesliga, and it still appeared on my damn screens. Even if you try and load up a different overlay, this one is still there. So as you can see, it is a bit of a game-breaking issue because people have to restart the game, play the same matches over and over again, and it could happen multiple times a day for you. And basically things like this turn you off the game mode. You don't want to play a game mode that's full of bugs, and especially game-breaking ones that make you restart the matches. So hopefully there is a patch soon. Since we're talking about broadcast packages, let's talk about the La Liga one now. Hannan sent this photo in, and he goes, look, there's 2 players with the same number in the lineup screen. So as you can see, we've got Messi on the right, number 10, and then we've got Griezmann, number 17, in the middle, and then we have Angel or Angel on the left with the number 17 as well. So I don't know how 2 players end up with the same numbers, but I think the broadcast package for the Premier League had a similar issue with the lineups where it was displaying incorrect stuff. It looks like the La Liga one isn't perfect at all as well. So this clip was sent in by Owen, and it's some sort of penalty glitch where the ball goes into the goal and then passes the net and then goes into the stadium crowd. So let's take a look at the clip. He takes the penalty, the ball goes in, it's definitely a goal, but then it hits some sort of pole at the back of the net, and then it just goes flying straight into the crowd. And I do hope that the game counted it as a goal, but maybe there was a hole in the net. You know, you don't really see it that often in real world professional football, but maybe there was a hole in the net in FIFA 20. Could be a new gameplay feature. Next up, we have another news article gets a wrong segment. Whoever the career mode journalists are, they should go back to uni, go and get another degree because they absolutely suck. They're always getting it wrong. They're always making up fake scenarios, using the wrong names and all that kind of stuff. But we have another example here. Houston bag a bargain. This one was sent in by Chris. And the article says a surprising transfer development has seen free agents Emilio Izaguirre move to Houston in a deal rumored to be worth around $0. What many people find surprising though is the low transfer fee paid for the player. Well, he went for free, there was no transfer fee. The exit of the 32-year-old has caused mixed emotion amongst the free agents fan base. Which fan base does the free agents have? I would love to know. Like, who is a fan of the free agents team? Is there a free agents team or something? How big is their fan base? Which league they're playing? Because I'd love to know, career mode journalist. With many of them believing that they could have got more for the player. Mate, you got zero. Anything is more. One fan voiced his opinion by adding, "It's ridiculous. We should have tried to get more for him so that we could invest it into a better player for our own team. How can we afford to replace him now?" Oh my goodness. It's so funny when you read these articles, man. But this one is crazy. This has to be one of the more ridiculous ones. The journalist claims that the free agents have a fan base, and then they say that they were surprised about the low fee. One fan said it was ridiculous. He went on a free transfer. So the team is called free agents. What do you expect? You can't sell them for profit when you're called free agents. In career mode, there is this issue with the news tile where the journalist claims that a club team has versed a country team. So what we're going to take a look at is a thing sent in by Finksley now, and he goes, "This is after the international break. I'm in a career as Swansea and manage the Australian national team, and I had a game the same day as an international game, and now after that the save's been broken." So what's new in career mode? But as you can see, the news headline says Taggart, who is like a player, Australian player, scores a brace as Swansea grab win over Ecuador. So it seems like this glitch happens when there is 2 games on the same day, an international game and a club game. I don't know why this happens, but career mode news articles have been broken now for a long time. There's also another image here of the news articles. This one was sent in by Chris, and it's sort of the same thing. It goes, Man City in goalless stalemate against Ireland. So Man City versus Ireland, does that make sense? Not really. In a match of few chances, defense was the order of the day as Man City drew 0-0 against the Republic of Ireland. I don't know what EA is doing with these journalists. I don't know where they're getting them from, but there's no way that EA is going to fix news articles in a future patch. There's no way, but it looks like these news tile is broken things are going to be broken for a very long time. So early on in FIFA 20 cycle, there was this glitch in career mode where a player would appear in all the menus, even on the field, and somehow he just came out of nowhere. And the glitch is still in the game. This one was sent in by Shaun. It's still there. They haven't patched it. I haven't seen any patch notes about it. I even experienced this a few days ago on my career modes when I was testing something out. Basically, you exit the squad hub or like a transfer thing, and then the player just sticks around and he goes on every menu, and sometimes even on the home menu of FIFA. So not even just career mode, sometimes on the home menu. Even on the field he appears and he just stands there for the whole game. It is a pretty bad bug, and you know, a lot of people have called him out on it. I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet. I guess it's probably not a simple fix. Maybe it's something to do with the code in the game, or maybe they're just lazy. But I think the only way to fix this is to like go into the menus again and then he goes away. I think I copped it once, and then I went into the menu like the squad hub or something, and then the player disappeared and he wasn't appearing anymore. So there is a way to get around it, but it is annoying when it happens. So I reckon you guys didn't know this one. There is a trait card you can buy in Ultimate Team for your manager, and it's called the You Can't See Me trait. And it's basically making your manager invisible. So when the other manager comes to shake your hand, your manager doesn't appear, basically turning him into John Cena. So let's take a look at the clip here. I was playing squad battles, and after the match, I see Klopp coming over to shake my manager, you know, my guy. And basically, my manager doesn't appear. He's invisible, but Klopp still goes through with the animation, basically shaking hands with the air. It could be Casper, it could be John Cena. I don't know, I can't see anyone, but maybe Klopp sees him. Maybe there is a perk that I've enabled in the settings which makes the guy disappear. I don't know what's going on, but I guess it's just another day on FIFA 20. So it looks like there's some sort of bug in the email about youth players wanting out. So this one was sent in by Chev Kerr or something. Probably said your name wrong, but this was the photo he supplied. He goes, the game wants me to actually guess which player wants out. So he gets this thing and it says, boss, I've just received news that someone is wanting to cancel his contract as he thinks that he's ready to be called up to the senior squad. He seems set on leaving, but I can ask him to wait a little to see if there's anything we can do. So this happened in FIFA 19 as well, where the game didn't actually tell you which players wanted out. You sort of had to go into the youth academy and sort of guess and sort of find them yourself. And I don't know why they can't just add a simple name, and you know, it would make life a bit easier for career mode players. But yeah, this I think was an issue in FIFA 19. Obviously it's carrying over to FIFA 20 as well. So there is some sort of issue with the captaincy suggestion email you get when you're managing a international team. This one was sent in by Brad, and he goes, I was managing the United States. We had a game against the Ivory Coast, and they actually suggested Gary Cahill as my captain. And he goes, Gary Cahill was playing for Crystal Palace, and I do presume he was managing Crystal Palace because that's when the mix-up happened. So as you can see, he goes, greetings Mourinho, I've noticed that for the upcoming match against Ivory Coast, your choice of captain is lacking the leadership trait. Might I suggest you name Gary Cahill instead, as his leadership skills will have a beneficial impact. So either Gary Cahill has changed his citizenship, or he's not meant to be there, and I do think he's not meant to be there, because I think the game gets messed up with the club and uses a player from the club instead of actually naming someone from the national team. So sometimes after you finish a match, you want to check some highlights, you know, and that's when the match highlights system comes into play. A very useful system when it works, because you can relive those moments from the match. Unfortunately, in Johan's case, one of the match highlight tiles decided that it didn't want to show up to work that day. As you can see here with the clip, he tries to relive a moment, the yellow card in the 88th minute. He presses it, and basically what does he get? A frozen screen looking at some sort of board there of the Premier League. So not a good sign when the match highlights don't even want to work, but just another day in the life of a FIFA 20 player. We have another one of those news style gets a wrong clips. So this one was sent in by win.shane, and as you can see, it starts off with Spurs losing to Manchester City 2-1, and then underneath it says aggregate 2-2, Manchester City won on away goals. So Man City went through to the final because of away goals according to this screen, you know. But when you go and take a look at the news tile, it actually says something completely different. So the headline says Man City win on penalties after astonishing drama. Basically, it contradicts exactly what the other tile said. The tie between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City ended in a penalty shootout, which is wrong because the other tile said it was away goals. Manchester City players showed more composure in the final moments of the game, managing to beat Tottenham 3-2 in a thrilling shootout. Now the question is, did this shootout exist or not? What were the journalists smoking here? Because I'd love to know where they got this shootout from, because according to the tile, there was no shootout, it was away goals. So I don't know what's right, but I don't understand how many times these news articles are wrong. What's the point of having them in the game if they're not even telling the truth? So an issue carrying over from FIFA 19 career mode was the glitch where if you transferred midway through the season as a manager, then the league table would go up to like 150 points. You would play over 53 games, and it looks like it's still in FIFA 20. It's definitely an issue EA needs to patch, but I haven't heard about any sort of patch for this thing for the last 2 years, so I don't think it's ever going to happen. But this one was sent in by a name that I really can't pronounce. I'll try. Sohjoenard or something, I probably said it wrong, but yeah, as you can see, Barcelona 53 matches, 150 points in La Liga. It doesn't happen, and it's because of that glitch where you transfer clubs halfway through the season. I don't know why this exists, but it definitely needs patching. If you need something else to watch, make sure you hit the card in the middle. It'll take you to another FIFA 20 video of mine. I'll see you next time.